Have you ever come across first-person parkour videos on top of buildings hundreds of meters high? Every time I watch them, my heart pounds. I'm terrified that the person in the video might slip and fall. But, the fact that they can post these videos means their skills are extraordinary, and I really admire these creators. However, in the age of short videos, people's expectations for content are getting higher and higher. Maybe regular ground-level parkour isn't enough to satisfy audiences anymore. So, these creators have to push the limits, climbing taller and taller buildings. They don't just do parkour, they also perform death-defying stunts. While this brings more popularity, it also means greater risks. If an accident really happens one day, they wouldn't even have time for last words. And who is ultimately responsible for their deaths? Today, I'll share 2 real cases of deaths from rooftop climbing. Please be aware that this video contains dangerous activities. Do not imitate them. Remy Lucidi was born on February 23, 1993, in Montpellier, France. As a teenager, he was introverted, shy, afraid of heights, and had few friends. After dropping out of school, he became addicted to video games. However, a parkour video he stumbled upon changed the course of his life. The video's creator was David Bell, the founder of parkour. This sport, which uses the urban environment for athletic movement, immediately sparked his interest, pulling him from the virtual world to real-life challenges. He eventually applied his parkour skills to climbing skyscrapers, starting his own career in extreme sports. In 2015, Lucidi began documenting and sharing his experiences climbing buildings around the world. His climbing style, known as urban climbing, involved no safety equipment, relying solely on his physical strength and agility. Such activities were not only dangerous, but also often involved trespassing, so they were usually done at night. His first unauthorized climb was to the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris at night, where he photographed the city. After that, in 2016, he climbed the Moskovsky Bridge in Kyiv, Ukraine, performing a backflip on its cables. In 2017, he successfully conquered Dubai's Marina 101, the 23rd tallest building in the world, showcasing his incredible courage. He also left his mark on tall buildings in places like Bulgaria, Thailand, and Portugal. By continuously posting photos and videos from his climbs, Lucidi quickly gained tens of thousands of followers on his Instagram account. Besides selfies, he also used a drone to capture unique perspectives. His posts not only showed his adventurous spirit, but also conveyed a philosophy of living in the moment. For example, during a climb in Bulgaria, he wrote, "Life is too short to chase illusions." His photography, which combined extreme sports with art, was widely praised on social media. However, fate wasn't always on the side of this urban climbing enthusiast. The slightest mishap could end his life. On July 17, 2023, Lucidi arrived in Hong Kong and checked into a hostel in Tsim Sha Tsui. On July 24, he posted for the last time on Instagram, sharing a photo from the top of Times Square in Hong Kong with the caption Hong Kong and a heart emoji. On July 27, Lucidi went to Tregentor Tower in Hong Kong's mid-levels. It is a 209-meter-tall residential building with 68 floors. According to reports, he entered the building around 6 p.m., claiming to visit a friend on the 40th floor. Surveillance footage shows he took the elevator to the 49th floor and then used the stairs to reach the top. He forced open a door to get to the penthouse area on the 69th floor. At around 7:30 p.m., a maid was startled to see a man outside, knocking on the penthouse window, trying to get her attention. The maid was terrified and called the police, but she did not open the door. Unfortunately, before the police arrived, Lucidi lost his footing and fell from the ledge. His body was found on a terrace below, along with his sports camera and French ID card. The videos on his camera documented his extreme sports experiences. The Hong Kong police's initial investigation suggested that Lucidi might have fallen from the ledge while performing an extreme sport. No suicide note was found, and the cause of the accident remains unclear. He might have been trapped outside while taking photos or videos, or was seeking help because he couldn't get back into the building. The police also went to the hostel in Tsim Sha Tsui, where he was staying, and found his passport and other belongings, and notified the French consulate. The hostel owner mentioned they had talked about this climb. which suggested he might have been planning further adventures. However, some of his friends in the community expressed doubts about his death, believing that with his experience and skill, he wouldn't have slipped so easily, hinting at other possible factors. But there is currently no evidence to support that his death was not an accident. The news of Lucidus' death shocked the extreme sports community and his fans. On Instagram, his account became a memorial, with fans leaving messages of condolence and admiration. Bulgarian climber Jordan Boyev posted a tribute to him, while another climber wrote, "Brother left doing what he loved, living life to the fullest." His Instagram page also released a statement, calling him an outstanding photographer who captured the world's beauty from breathtaking heights. The mourning was not just online. The extreme sports community began discussing how to commemorate his contributions while preventing similar tragedies. Lucidus' death sparked intense debates about the legality and safety of urban climbing. Supporters believe it embodies a fearless spirit, inspiring people to push their limits. Critics, however, point out that his actions involved trespassing, could endanger others, and set a bad example for young people. Some called for stricter regulation of such extreme sports or the creation of legal climbing areas to reduce risks. The incident also led people to re-examine the safety measures in urban climbing. Experts suggested that climbers should receive professional training, use safety equipment, and respect private property. As a subculture, urban climbing gained more attention due to Lucidus' fame. His photography showcased the magnificence of city skylines, attracting a global audience. Social media played a key role in promoting extreme sports, but it also raised questions about platform responsibility should the spread of high-risk content be restricted. Remy Lucidi grew from a teenager afraid of heights to a world-renowned extreme climber. His adventurous spirit inspired many. His journey was full of courage, and his photography captured the world's splendor. However, all of it vanished the moment his life ended. The tragedy in Hong Kong reminds us that we must distinguish between adventure and recklessness. While pursuing passion, we must prioritize safety, respect life, and the law. Speaking of urban climbing, one cannot fail to mention the tragedy of Wu Yongning, China's first in extreme sports. Wu Yongning was born in 1991 into a farming family in Ningxiang, Changsha, Hunan. Despite his circumstances, he was positive and optimistic. In middle school, his father died from a serious illness, and the blow caused his mother to suffer from mental health issues. As a result, Wu Yongning had to drop out of school and enter the workforce. He wanted to earn a lot of money to pay for his mother's medical treatment, but due to his lack of education, he faced many setbacks at work. He eventually found his footing in Hengdian, becoming a professional film and television stuntman. This job gave him experience performing in high-risk environments and also sparked his interest in extreme sports. He later devoted himself entirely to outdoor high-altitude adventure sports. As a stuntman, Wu Yongning needed sharp judgment, excellent skills, and the ability to manage danger. However, film stunts usually have strict safety measures, whereas Wu Yongning's rooftop climbing was a completely different story. He almost never used any safety equipment. Initially, Wu Yongning's stunt career might have just been a way to make a living, but with the rise of social media platforms, he found a new opportunity. By recording his extreme challenges and uploading them to the internet, he could not only gain a large number of fans, but also earn a substantial income. It is reported that he posted over 500 short videos and live streams online, accumulating over 1 million fans. He earned a significant income from these videos alone. This income not only supported his life, but also helped pay for his mother's medical expenses. By 2017, Wu Yongning was already one of the pioneers in China's urban climbing scene. He was known as the #1 high-altitude challenger in the country. His videos typically showed him climbing towering buildings, hanging off their edges, or balancing on narrow beams. The thrilling visual impact of these videos attracted a large audience, especially among young internet users. However, this model of exchanging views for money also created problems, drawing him into increasingly dangerous challenges. To maintain the interest of his fans and the attention of the platforms, he had to come up with more extreme and dangerous stunts. On November 8, 2017, he undertook his next challenge. He never expected that this 263-meter, 62-story building would be his final stage. The challenge came about when an internet company approached him. They wanted him to climb the 62-story building for an outdoor event related to their press conference, perform a few dangerous moves, and greet the audience. The reward for this was a handsome 100,000 RMB. At first, Wu Yongning was hesitant, but thinking of his mother's medical bills and saving money for his own marriage, he agreed and signed a contract, which included a liability waiver. But tragedy struck. Wu Yongning was attempting to do pull-ups on the edge of the building's roof without any safety gear. After 2 pull-ups, he tried to climb back up, but his legs began to shake, showing clear signs of exhaustion. He tried to use his feet to push himself up, but the building's glass surface was too smooth to get a grip. In an instant, with a desperate cry, Wu Yongning fell from the high-rise. Due to the building's structure, his body landed on a terrace below. His life ended at the age of 26. The entire process was recorded by his camera and quickly spread across social media. The video of the accident caused a huge reaction online. Many were shocked by Wu Yongning's courage, but even more were concerned about such extreme behavior. Some commentators even accused the audience and the platforms of crowdfunding his death through likes and virtual gifts. It also sparked a wide-ranging debate among netizens about the practice of trading views for cash in live streaming. Many began to question the responsibility of social media platforms in promoting extreme challenges, with audience likes and donations further fueling the trend. In the aftermath, some live streaming platforms immediately issued statements, distancing themselves from any connection to Wu Yongning's death. Additionally, Wu Yongning's family filed a lawsuit against the internet company and platforms like Huajiulev, claiming they failed to take adequate measures to prevent such dangerous behavior. However, the court eventually ruled that the defendants, including Huajiulev and the internet company, should pay 30,000 RMB in compensation to Wu Yongning's family. The reasoning was that Wu's death was mostly his own fault, and the defendants held only a small portion of the responsibility. Wu Yongning's death was not just a tragedy for the Chinese extreme sports community. It also prompted a global reflection on the responsibility of social media. His story is a reminder that, in the pursuit of internet fame and financial gain, personal safety and ethical boundaries cannot be ignored. At the same time, social media platforms, audiences, and the challengers themselves must all bear their corresponding responsibilities to prevent similar tragedies from happening again.